All right, let's jump right in. We're all hearing about AI agents, right? I mean, this is the big promise. Systems that can actually see, think, plan, and do complex stuff for us. It really feels like the future we've all been imagining.
And look, we're not just talking about a slightly better chatbot here. No way. These are what you'd call compound AI systems. You give them a big kind of fuzzy goal, and they figure out how to make it a reality. They can grab tools, pull from databases. They can actually act for you. It's a huge, huge step up.
So, what's the catch? If this tech is so mind-blowing, why is it so incredibly hard to get them working reliably out in the wild? You see these amazing demos, but then they just fizzle. What's the roadblock? What's the thing everyone's missing?
Well, here's the thing. It turns out the problem often isn't the LLM itself. It's not about a lack of power. The real villain in this story is measurement. How we test, how we evaluate these agents, it's just not fit for purpose. It's broken.
And I mean, just look at this data. It's wow. When you look at the academic research, a mind-boggling 93% of all evaluation happens before the agent ever sees the light of day. We're basically building them in a clean room, a perfect little lab, and then just crossing our fingers when we release them into the chaos of the real world. It's no wonder things go wrong.
And you know, this has some really serious knock-on effects. If you're only testing in the lab, you have zero visibility into real-world problems. Things like data drift or an agent using a tool in a way you never predicted. So what happens? You're stuck playing whack-a-mole, fixing problems after they've already affected your users. You just can't catch those weird emergent behaviors that only pop up when things get messy.
Okay, let's make this less abstract. A perfect example, and I mean a perfect one, is with RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. It's the engine behind so many of these agents, and it's a place where we are consistently measuring the completely wrong thing. Think about it like this. When you do a Google search, you're impatient, right? You want that one perfect link right at the top. The whole game is about getting that single best document to number one. But when a RAG system does a search, its user is the LLM. And the LLM isn't impatient at all. It doesn't want just one link. It wants to gather all the evidence, every single relevant fact, so it can build a really solid answer. See the mismatch? The old way of measuring just falls apart. So this means we need a totally new way to think about what good looks like. It's not one number anymore. It's multidimensional. You've got these new benchmarks popping up, and they're looking at things through a few different lenses. First, yeah, you still need relevance. Is the info even on topic? But then you need grounding, or what you could call coverage. Did we actually find all the different facts we needed? And third, diversity. Did we just get back 5 sources that all say the exact same thing? Because that's not helpful either. Okay, so when you put all this together, it points to a really fundamental shift in how we need to build these things. We have to stop thinking of evaluation as this final exam, this checkpoint at the very end. Instead, we need to make evaluation the actual engine that powers the whole development process, right from the very beginning.
And there's a name for this new philosophy: evaluation-driven development, or EDD. The idea is simple but powerful. You embed evaluation into everything, across the entire life cycle. It's not a gate you have to pass through. It's the fuel for the whole system's evolution.
Now, this table really helps put it all in context. You've probably heard of test-driven or behavior-driven development, right? TDD, BDD. They're great, but they were built for predictable, deterministic software. EDD is a different beast. Its scope isn't just pre-deployment. It's the entire life cycle. Its requirements aren't static, they're constantly evolving. And the feedback loop isn't just developers. It's real-time data, real users, even other AIs. It's just built for the messy reality of AI agents.
All right, so we get the what and the why. That's the easy part. The big question is, how do you actually do this? How do you put EDD into practice? Let's break down the playbook. But first, I want to share this piece of wisdom from an absolute veteran in this space. He says the #1 mistake teams make is that they're always chasing the new hotness, the next cool method, without ever setting up a stable benchmark. Think about that. If you don't have a solid baseline, how can you possibly know if you're actually getting better? You're just flying blind. So with that in mind, here's a simple 4-step process to follow. Step 1 is to plan. You've got to define your user goals, your rules, the risks, all of it. Step 2, develop tests. This is huge. You need to build what's called a golden data set. Real queries, tough edge cases, the works. Step 3, evaluate. And not just in the lab.
You have to do offline controlled tests and online real-world evaluation. And finally, step 4, the most important one, improve. You take what you learned and you feed it right back into the system. It's a continuous loop.
And that brings us to what I think is really the core message of all of this. We're all out here searching for that one magic fix, that silver bullet that's going to make our agents reliable. But we're looking in completely the wrong place.
This constant hunt for a technical silver bullet. Oh, if we just switch to this new vector DB, or if we just use a graph DB, it's a total trap. As one expert said, trying to map a new technique to a new piece of technology is just flawed thinking. There is no magic tool that will fix this for you.
So what is the key? The real silver bullet, if there is one, isn't a piece of tech at all. It's a practice, a disciplined, continuous, holistic evaluation practice. It's about building the right process, the right culture, not just buying the right tool. So I want to leave you with a question to take back to your own teams and your own projects. Ask yourselves, are we just testing our agents, running some scripts, checking some boxes before we ship? Or are we truly evaluating them continuously throughout their entire life? Because honestly, the answer to that question is the difference between building another cool demo and building an AI agent that actually works.